Hey, what's up guys? You're watching DIY Dozier, and on today's episode I want to talk to you about how I refinished the stairs in my basement. Do you have carpeted stairs? Do you possibly have contractor grade stairs? Well, if you have any of these and they're a bit unsightly to you, or say you want to upgrade them and finish them out with a nice wood stained finish, then stick around and watch this video. So my wife is a fan of Pinterest, and as we all know, if you do not do your homework and you just go off of the pictures and the ideas that you see on Pinterest, sometimes the projects can go horribly wrong, or there can be unexpected expenses and things that make you wish you hadn't done the project to begin with. So my wife got on Pinterest and she discovered this article about refinishing your staircase leading down into your basement of your home. This particular article that she found had carpeted stairs, and this person just pulled the carpet off of their stairs. They sanded the stairs on the treads and the risers. They added stain or paint, and that was the end of it. It was a completed project. It was easy to do for this person, and she did it for less than $100. So of course my wife says, hey, let's refinish the stairs in our house and we can do it for less than $100. Wrong. Let me tell you, this was an expensive endeavor, and had I known what I was getting into when we got started, we probably would not have done it at that time. We still would have done it, but it wouldn't have been at that time. It would have been a little later date. Let's talk about the process, and I'll show you what I had to do to refinish the stairs in my home. The first thing I did was I stripped up all of the carpet off of the stairs. To do this, I had to use a razor knife to cut the leading edge at the bottom of the stairs, and then go ahead and start pulling up all the carpet. You should probably use gloves to take on this task. There is tack strips, or there were tack strips on the stairs underneath the carpet. These will stab you, poke you, cut your hands up. Make sure you have some good gloves before you start, tugging on that carpet and pulling it up. Make sure you're wearing shoes. You don't want to step on one of these tack strips that are on these stairs. So I cut the carpet into manageable sections with a razor knife. I went ahead and pulled it up by hand. I just grabbed it with some gloves and I pulled real hard, and I pulled the carpet right off the stairs. I got the carpet taken outside and thrown away. Underneath the carpet is a foam padding on each stair. You'll have to remove that foam padding, and there's also a tack strip. You will have to remove that tack strip as well to expose the raw wood on the stairs to analyze exactly what it is that you're working with. Every staircase is going to be different. We had a couple of curved balls with ours, as I'm about to show you. Once I got everything removed, I looked at the stair treads and analyzed the construction of the staircase, and came to the conclusion that the way our staircase was built and the way the sheetrock was up against the staircase and how we planned on staining the staircase and refinishing, just doing this in general to the contractor grade stair was not going to be appealing. So we needed to have a better grade of wood, and it was going to require a little bit more cost on product and materials. I already had the carpet removed. I was committed at this point. Let's go ahead and do this right if we're going to do it, right? So I went ahead and cut the nosing off of all the stair treads underneath the nose of each stair tread that was coming out. I measured the distance, how far the nose was sticking out off of the riser. I measured it on the underside. I marked it on the top side to match, drew a straight line across the front of the nose on the stair, and I cut it with a skill saw straight across the front of the stair. After I cut it straight across, I then took a sawzall to cut all the way over to the edge of the wall with each stair tread. I then went back and took a chisel and a hammer, and I cleaned up every stair with the chisel and the hammer to get it flush with the riser on the staircase. After I did this, I came back and I sanded the edges a little bit with a palm sander that I had to make sure everything was smooth, and then we addressed what exactly we were going to do at that point. We went down to Lumber Liquidators and we purchased 14 stair treads, and we also purchased 2 nosing pieces, one for the landing at the bottom of the stairs and then another one for the very top of the stairs at the doorway. We went with white oak stair treads, and we also picked up a scrap bundle of white oak 3/4 inch flooring. We liked the idea of having knots in the wood and little holes and all that stuff, so we got all the throwaway scrap pieces. It was $10 for a bundle of that. I got everything back to the house and began fixing the sheetrock. Every piece of nosing that I pulled off of a stair tread, when it came off of the stair tread, it left a hole in the sheetrock. The person who finished the basement in this house before I bought it got the sheetrock up and around every stair tread and kind of finished out the sheetrock around the stairs in such a tight manner that when we cut the nosing off the stairs to remove it, it left this hole that was about a little over an inch and a half out from the staircase. So I had a hole on every stair tread on the right and left side of the stairs. So I had to come in and patch that hole with some sheetrock tape. I came in and put the tape down first over the hole, and then I came back in with the plaster, or the mud, whatever you want to call it. I came back and I filled the hole all the way up and down the stairs on both sides. After that dried overnight, I came back and sanded it and got it completely smooth, and then I came in and primed and painted the sheetrock to get ready for the new stair treads to go on. I completely finished all of my sheetrock work with paint and everything before I went any further at this point. Okay, so I used a stair tool to help me in properly cutting each stair tread for this project. I bought the stair tool attachment pieces off of eBay for about $20. What you do is you take these and you attach them to a piece of 1x2 wood that's cut almost to the width of your walls. So you want to have about 1.5 inches or 2 inches of leeway on both sides. And then you put these attachments on the end of the wood and you set it on your stairs. Leave them loose when you set it on your stair tread, and you extend both ends to the wall. Once they are both flush against the wall and your stair tool is straight and centered on your stair tread, you tighten down the dials on both sides and it locks in place. You then pick up the stair tool, you walk outside to your stair treads where you're cutting them at, you set the stair tool on a stair tread, and you mark with a pencil exactly as the template was on the stair tool. So you set the stair tool down, you mark both ends of it on the stair tread, and then you remove your stair tool from the tread, and you have a perfect template for exactly what that stair tread should look like for that particular stair. Each stair tread will be different. There is not one stair tread going up this set of stairs that has the exact same measurement. The sheetrock is not perfectly straight. Each stair fluctuates by probably 1/8 inch. It's not completely square either. So make sure you use a new measurement with your stair tread tool on each stair going up the staircase. And on the back side of the stair tread, I wrote a number corresponding to the tread number. So starting at the bottom, the first stair tread was labeled as number 1 on the back side of the tread. I then sat it in my garage. I went to the second stair tread, measured it out off of the stairs, took it outside, put it on the tread, marked it, flipped it over, labeled it number 2. I cut it out, I took it to the garage and laid it down. Same thing, number 3, number 4, all the way up until I got to my last stair tread. After I got all my stair treads cut out, then I got my stain, which was a gray stain. I went in the garage. I laid out a drop cloth on the garage floor. I laid down a heavy coat of the gray stain. I let it sit overnight. I came back the next day and I wiped off any excess stain, any residual, I wiped it off. And then I applied a semi-gloss polyurethane coat. I applied 3 coats, which was from Minwax, the next day. I applied my risers before I did the landing. I used a white oak with a white finish. It is I believe it's a 1/4-inch sheet of white oak. You can purchase at Lowe's. It's a 4x8 sheet. It's very flimsy. I think some folks call it Luan. And the backside is just a typical, raw white oak finish. And I use my stair tread tool measuring vertically instead of having it flat on the ground. I use my stair tread tool vertically, and I measured exactly how I needed to cut my riser finishing pieces there out of that white oak. I cut those out. I put a little bit of glue against the existing riser, and I used brad nails across the very top leading edge where it will be covered up by the stair tread once you put the stair tread down. I took my nose piece and installed it using wood flooring glue along with brad nails through the nosing. I lined it up, measured out exactly where I wanted it at, and I tacked it in place so I could begin completing my wood flooring on my landing. For the landing, what I did was I found pieces of wood with knots and imperfections, and I placed them strategically and oriented them in a way that I liked and I thought was appealing on the floor. I measured out the width of the landing and I cut the pieces of wood to make sure they would fit. I staggered my joints and I fit it together kind of like a puzzle piece. Once I got it to where it was good and the way I wanted it, I picked it all back up, and then I came in there and I added Titebond wood glue, and I used a trowel. I spread it out on the floor. I put down the wood pieces, locked them into place, and then I would shoot a brad nail through the edges just to hold it down while the glue dried. I didn't put any brad nails through the middle of it. I didn't want the nails to be visible and sticking up and all that. So after I got the landing completely laid down, then I came back, I taped off, and I applied my gray stain to the wood right there on the landing. And then I came back and I polyurethane coated that also. After that was all done, then it was time for me to come back and apply my stair treads. Each respective tread was placed down on its numbered stair. I started at the top. I applied Titebond wood glue on each stair, and then I would take the tread and I would press the tread onto the stair. I'd put some weight on it, make sure it had a good bond, and then I would take my brad nailer and I would shoot a brad nail on the very back edge of the stair tread down and through the stairs, and I would put one close to the nose of the stair on the left and right side next to the wall. This way your feet would not feel the brad nail indention if you stepped on it. I didn't want it to be in the middle of the stair tread and you feel it every day you walk up and down the stairs. I went all the way down the stairs, applied all the treads, and then when I came back, I put my baseboards back down on the landing. I had removed the baseboards for that landing before I did the landing with the hardwood flooring. So for the nosing at the top of the stairs, it could not just slide in. It did sit flush with the flooring in the top of the stairs inside the laundry room there where the ceramic tile is. However, the door frame itself was in the way. So what I did was I came through with a Dremel tool and I put a cutoff disc on it and I measured where I needed to cut for the stair tread. I then cut the door frame with the Dremel tool to the depth I needed or close to it all the way around so that stair tread nosing piece would fit underneath the door jamb and frame and still sit on the floor and be flush with the ceramic tile you see there in this other room. I also used a chisel to come back and clean it up afterwards, and a piece of sandpaper to make sure it was nice and smooth and presentable. The nosing piece fit pretty much perfect. It was absolutely flush to the flooring transition piece, and it was exactly level with the ceramic tile also. I was very happy with the end result on that nosing piece. Here's a happy guy after a couple weeks of hard work trying to make the staircase happen. I spent about $800 between the stain, the polyurethane, my stair treads, my risers, everything I needed to get the job done. Definitely was not a cheap, less than $100 Pinterest, do-it-yourself deal. This was a bit of an endeavor. Hopefully this video helped you out. If you have stairs like mine, hopefully this can give you the confidence to refinish them if you're not a construction worker or a contractor. And this can kind of give you an idea what you're going to be looking at to redo your stairs in your home. If the video helped you out, be sure to click like and also subscribe so you can be notified of future content being released. Thank you so much for watching the video. If you have any questions, drop a comment down below and I'll get back to you as soon as I possibly can. Share the knowledge, share the passion, share the skill, and as always, do it yourself.